What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Our Kind of People, Season 1, Episode 9. Now, at the end of this, they said we're gonna get new episodes with an S in January, but so I guess we're gonna get more than 10 episodes because we're on episode 9. So they said we're gonna get new episodes with an S. So okay, somebody was asking me about that. So anyway. Our Kind of People. So we open up. Aunt Peggy is back, child. Aunt Peggy is back. She said she needed to just get away for a little bit and visit some people and meet some friends. And she is back, having herself a good time. And she also notices that baby daddy done moved into the house while she was gone. She said, "Oh, okay, baby daddy done moved into the house. I see." And Angie tells her, "No, it ain't what you think. You know, he just needs to be closer to his daughter. So, you know, they getting started and building their relationship, okay?" I said, "Okay, girl, if that's what you want, tell yourself, but all right." Her and Chocolate Thunder, a.k.a. Lance Gross, still are not in a good place, child. She tried to ambush him while he was on his morning jog, and he was not here for it. He said he's still not in a place that, you know, he busy. He trying to get this whole situation together for his pitch on the new stadium deal, and he just ain't got time. He got too much on his mind. He don't have time. Matter of fact, he was like, "And I thought you was trying to get cool with the baby daddy anyway." And she was like, "It's not what you think. You know, I'm trying to be with you. Stop playing. Stop tripping." And he was like, "Yeah, well, I got to finish my morning workout. I'll see you later." And we ain't see him no more the rest of this damn episode, child. I don't know where the hell he went. We see Quincy, the son. I think his name is Quincy. He's still, you know, he done got with the head housekeeper's granddaughter. They dating, I guess, honey. They smooching and stealing kisses in the hallway. Now, mind you, her grandmother was walking up while they was kissing, and he hid in the closet. And then when the grandmama walked away, he came out the closet for them to start kissing in the hallway again. And all I was thinking when I was watching that was, why they don't just go in the closet and lock the door? I don't know. Moving on. Now we see where Layla and you know, Raymond are, you know, they still working on getting things together, and she's apologizing again to him, you know, for not helping him get his company back. She said, "You know, I tried everything, but I think Daddy was on to me. You know, but I'm gonna do my best to make this up to you, and I'm gonna really, really try." He was like, "It's all good. We're gonna figure it out. You know, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it do what it do." Now, down to the Gracies. It is the final weekend, and the alumni coming back to do their final inspection of the prospective ladies that will be joining the Gracies. And the woman who is in charge of the perspectives is Raymond's mama, a.k.a. Dragon Lady, okay? And she is not here for Angie. She never was here for Angie. And what we find out is that she had a whole relationship with Angie's mom, Eve. And so her hatred for Angie goes a little bit deeper than just she's not one of us and she don't belong and her mama was a maid, okay? We'll get to that in a second. But in this moment, we see where Layla really is building a friendship with Angie. It's not surface, it's not bullshit. Because she was coming for Angie really hard. And Layla was trying to get her to back up off of her, like, listen, you know, it's all good, to the point where Layla ended up pulling Angie out of there because Angie was giving her the blues because she was coming at her and she told her to know her place and she didn't belong and she's not one of us, and she was giving it to her. Now, granted, she was ready to walk away at that point. She was like, "You know what? I don't need this. Like, I'm over it. I'm over this. I'm not going to let this woman keep talking to me crazy." Layla was like, "We need to talk to you about something before you make that drastic decision." So, come to find out, with the company being in a tailspin, Teddy and Layla had to tell Angie, "Listen, this program that you begged, borrowed, and stole to get into, that you thought was going to get you this distribution deal and was going to put you on Easy Street, yeah, that program is gone because the board of the board have voted with everything going on, you know, after the information got out that I had Parkinson's, you know, we lose the stock, the company is in a nosedive. they're really trying to take all of their resources and put it in one area, which means that this program is over effective immediately. And basically, your best bet is to become a member of the Great Cities and try to, rub elbows with some of our, movers and shakers, that are members that could probably help you. And then, and Layla said, listen, I will help you. I will give you whatever information you need to help you get what you need to get, okay? And they gave her, Layla pulled out all of her old information that her mom had from Great Cities from years past, and that's when she found the picture of Angie's mama, Layla's mama, and Raymond's mama when they were prospective members of the Great Cities years and years and years ago. So we find out that Eve's mama, I guess at some point she was considered to be more than just a maid if she was up for membership into the Great Cities. Because let's be clear, if it was hard to get into the Great Cities now in 2021, trust to believe 20 years ago, it was a lot more of an elitist organization and a lot harder to get into. So that's interesting. Back at the house, Angie is talking to baby daddy, and he's talking to her about stepping up and trying to find a job and wanting to help out, knowing that things are just not in the right place, and that he's going to do his best to help her, because she told her about what was going on with her losing or potentially losing the distribution deal, and all of that. And so he said he really want to step up and help out and all that good stuff. Now, Raymond and his mama, his mama is talking to him about how he could possibly be losing the company, how what's his name, Eric, how he gonna be selling his shares to to Teddy, and how they need to stop that. They need to stop it. And Raymond is like, Mama, I know, I got it. Like, I get it. You've always had something, because you've always been in your feelings about the fact that when Daddy died, he left the company to me and not you. Like, you always thought that was supposed to be yours and you were supposed to inherit that. And I hate to be the one to tell you, but yeah, it's not happening, okay? So, down to the beach, the kids are hanging out. We see Taylor, we see Nicole, we see Lauren, okay? They're all hanging out. And Taylor and Lauren, they start bonding over going back to school because they all go to the same boarding school. And of course, Nicole is on the outside looking in because not only does she not know anything about that, but she's not going to be going to school with them. And of course, Dad is making her feel real insecure. And then Lauren says, hey, can I talk to you? Do you mind if I could talk to Taylor for a minute? She says, Nicole, it's not like that. I just really need to talk to Taylor about something. So she confides in Taylor about, finding the key card and finding out that it goes to Uncle Jack. I said Eric, his name Jack. How the car belonged to Jack's hotel room, and she thinks her mom might be sleeping with him. Now, here's the part that I don't understand. I already told y'all how that was so improbable that she would call the hotel and be able to find out exactly who it belonged to. But, okay, let's just assume for a minute that I believe that it could have happened that way. If all y'all grew up together, and you know that all of them are friends, that's your father's business partner / best friend to the point where you call this man Uncle Jack. They've been friends since they were kids. You know that your mama been around and they all knew each other. Why would you automatically jump to the worst case scenario? Like, my mom and dad had friends growing up like that. Like, we called them aunt and uncle. I never knew anything different. Hell, half of them I thought I was related to until I got to be grown, okay? If I found out that my mom had a hotel key to the room of one of those men, I would not automatically assume that my mother was having an affair with that person. I would be like, oh, well, maybe he's in town. Maybe my dad, she was supposed to give it to my dad. I don't know. I just wouldn't have automatically jumped to the worst case scenario, to the worst conclusion. That's just me. Maybe I'm naive, but neither here nor there. She tells Taylor, I don't know what I'm going to do about it yet. Taylor was like, well, when you figure it out, you let me know. I got you. And, of course, Nicole is feeling some kind of way about it. She's a little insecure about it. So Nicole is at the house, and she's going through, Nicole is helping her mother quiz and memorize the facts and figures and history of the Great Cities and all the past members and everything else. And she's trying to help her mom figure it out. And, she asked her mom about boarding school. Like, she wants to go to this boarding school. And her mama was like, girl, at this point, you might not, listen, you'd be good to get back into the public school because this whole, the incubator program has been eliminated and I really need to get this right. I need to get into the great cities. But if I can hook up with this one person that is a hedge fund operator and she's always looking for some young black talent, if I can hook up with her and make it do what it do, baby, I got you. Mama got you. Okay, mama got you. And so, so we see that. So then we see Raymond's mama getting into it with Leia. And once again, they get into an argument about her not having her husband's back. And in my day, women knew their place, and women knew what they were supposed to do, and women knew how to do this and how to support their husband. And she says, "Oh, really? Well, I found a picture earlier today where my mama, your mama, my mama, you, and Eve's mama, Angie's mama, Eve." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, we were so young then, we were so naive then, And it looked like she was actually in a happy place for a second. And then, then it just, switched off, and she went right back to being a dragon lady. It is clear that she's held on to some horrible, information about, Angie's mama. And basically, she just reverts back to her whole, she didn't belong here. She wasn't one of us. We should have never tried to include her. You can't compete when you don't, you don't compare when you can't compete kind of thing. Then we saw Raymond and Teddy, again, having another one of their little, let's see who's this bigger fights. And, Raymond is letting him know, I'm going to get my company back, yada, yada, yada. Back down to Eve's crown. Angie finds drugs in the room, in that back bedroom that was her mother's little hidden space, which is where baby daddy is staying. And so, of course, she jumps to the conclusion that those drugs are his, which I can't say that she's wrong for doing it. So she kicks him out, and she gives him this whole speech about, I can't believe you did this and put us in jeopardy. You said you had our back. You said you were trying to be a daddy. And, is this what you meant? That you were going to look out for us and you was going to find you a job? Is this what you reverted to? Now, here's what I found to be interesting. Not only did she not let him get a word in edgewise, he didn't fight too hard to say anything. I felt like he could have fought a little bit harder to be like, girl, you tripping. Those ain't mine. I don't know what you. But neither here nor there, child. She done kicked the man out. Now, while this is going on, Dragon Lady, a.k.a. Raymond's mama, she done went down to the bungalow to go check in on Jack. And come to find out, they got a whole little relationship that go way back to Jack stealing her good gin off the bar when they was kids. And so she brings that good gin, and he says, she says, pour us a drink. He even offered the woman cocaine. And here's what she said. She didn't say, I can't believe how disrespectful of you to offer me some cocaine. I'm old enough to be your mama. Why would you do that? She said, now, cocaine is so out of style. What? So let me say this. The impression I got was maybe they used to do cocaine together back in the day while they were drinking that gin. Either way, she getting him all liquored up and all sauced up and everything, child. And she says, now, I'm going to need you to get them shares back. You cannot sell your shares to Teddy. And he was like, but I can, and I did. Yeah, I don't understand why y'all tripping so hard. It is what it is. It's done. It's a done deal. Do you want some of this coke or what? He offered her coke 3 times. I was like, what the fuck? So then she gives him the whole history of the company. Basically, she lets him know, listen, she's like, do you know the history of the company? And he was like, yeah, my dad and your husband was best friends. And, my grandfather and your grandfather, whoever, child, the old people, they were best friends and they started the company together. And she was like, not quite. Actually, my grandfather started the company, but because of the times that we lived in, we really needed a white face. This is what she was basically saying. We needed a white face in order to be as successful as we needed it to be. And, your grandfather signed on to do it. Now, let's be clear. He did do the family a huge favor, but he was paid 10 times over for that huge favor because the company became a multi-million-dollar company. Everybody got paid. So let's be clear. Those shares really don't belong to you. They really belong to my family, and you don't have a right to sell them. He was like, but like you said, my family did your family a favor, right? I mean, after all, we were just convenient, right? So, baby, she got mad, and she got ready to pick up her purse and leave. And he was like, man, don't go away mad. Because he was like, oh, Lord, she mad now. And he was like, don't go away mad. He was like, come on, let's sit down. Let's have another drink. Let's have some Coke. And he went to go, he said something about him being the last line or the last one in his line, or the line ends with him is what he said. And he went to go grab her arm, and she was like, get your hands off of me. And she pushed him back. And he fell through a glass, like coffee table. And somehow that killed him. Now, I mean, I guess it cut a major artery or something. I don't know, because I mean, people die in freak accidents all the time, I guess. But then we saw that her martini glass with her lipstick on it was sitting on that table. And I was like, well, now here's what I knew. Because while this was going on, or this is what I thought. Now, while this was going on, down to the beach, Lauren rolls up on Taylor and Nicole again and says, Taylor, I'm sorry to interrupt y'all again, but Taylor, I figured out what I'm going to do about that thing, my problem that I have. And Taylor was like, okay, Nicole, give me a minute. I'll be back to come and get you. And she leaves with Lauren. Now, Nicole, you were real good. You were a real understanding girlfriend, because in that moment, baby, I wouldn't have been there when she got back. You would have had to call and explain that to me later, because I wouldn't have been sitting down that bonfire with a bunch of people that I don't know. No man Pam. But baby, they go to bungalow number 3 and they go to open up the door. And when they open up the door, what do they find? Jack dead in that damn coffee table with all the glass. So, of course, she goes running out of there. Her and Taylor are freaked out. Taylor gets back to the bonfire, and Nicole wants to talk to her, and Taylor is not in the space to talk. She is all screwed up because of, they literally just saw this dead body. Lauren runs back home. Now, this lets you know how great of a relationship that Lauren really does have with her dad, because Lauren told her what she found. Lauren told Raymond what happened, why she went there, and what she found when she got there. So then they go and they pull, let me rewind a little bit. I'm fast forwarding a little bit. They're having a reception for the Gracies and the Perspectives. And Angie rolls up on Miss Hedge Fund operator, and she pictures herself. And baby, Dragon Lady, who just got done murdering somebody, she gonna roll up on Angie and lay her out and tell her how gauche that was for her to be doing a sales pitch in the middle of their it was a low country crab roll, and how gross that was for her to do that, and how she don't know her place, and she is above an extra, and how she is just not gracing these material. And so Angie Layla rolls up and is like, listen, you're doing too much. You're really doing too much, and I'm going to need you to calm your ass down, okay? I'm going to need you to calm down. Now, that's when they come and get Layla out of there, and they pull Layla in the room with Lauren and Raymond and tell Layla what happened. And Raymond, of course, they brought up the whole hotel room key situation. And Layla says what happened. She admits what happened. She said, listen, but I ain't never had no intention of sleeping with that man. You got to believe me. But this is what happened. And Raymond was like, listen, I know he been out of pocket, okay? So don't worry about it, because I already had to, whoop his ass for being disrespectful. So I ain't really worried about that, okay? But now I got to go take care of this. So in that moment, because what I thought was, I said, well, now his mama lipstick and fingerprints are inside the room, and his daughter's fingerprints are on the doorknob. I said, and they already have his daughter's fingerprints on file from earlier in the summer, so I thought the daughter was going to get blamed for it. But Raymond got in there first, and he cleaned it all up. He went down to the police and told the police some old cockamamie story about how he was worried about him because he'd been drinking too much, and he wanted to do a wellness check, and voila, they found a dead body. But he recognized the liquor and his mama's lipstick and told his mama, yeah, I got the lipstick, I got the liquor, and what you gonna do is you are gonna stay out of my business, and you gonna stay in your place, or I'm gonna have to just let the police know I got this little piece of something here for him. Now, we finally got to the bottom of some of the problems that we've been seeing. the mama dragon lady finally told the story, and the story basically went like this. Your father believed that a woman should stay in her place, meaning a woman should support her husband and don't need to worry about business or money. He wouldn't let me be a part of the business, but he did give me some money that I can invest on my own. And I decided that I was going to invest my money with Eve. I gave Eve my money, and then she repaid us by sleeping with Teddy and getting caught up in drugs. And my husband never let me live it down, and he took his money back. So you see, that's why I got beef with Eve. That's why I got beef with Lauren. I mean with Layla. Y'all know I can't say that woman's name. And that is why I feel the way I feel, and that's why I am just an old mean drunk. Okay. Now Angie gets back to the house, and she ends up telling Aunt Peggy what had happened with baby daddy, and Aunt Peggy said, nah, those are my drugs. She said, let me go on and just tell you what's really going on. She said, listen, here's what it is. I was a crackhead back in the day, okay? And I started dating my dealer, okay? And my dealer wasn't a nice guy. And we used to go at it. And one night, we went at it. We went at it a little bit too tough. And I ended up killing him. And Eve called Teddy to take care of it. Eve got his bodyguard, a.k.a. Sexual Chocolate's daddy, and he cleaned up the body. And Teddy's been holding it over my head ever since. That's why I left the cotillion. That's why I left town. And while I was out of town, you know, them old demons was on my back, and I picked up some drugs. Okay, so them drugs was mine. They weren't his. And I know you probably think really bad of me right now, but please, 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 please no. Please don't think bad of me. But it is what it is. I went through some things. And Angie was like, no, I don't think bad of you. I mean, you just a crackhead murderer, but we still family, though. You know, I accused my baby daddy of it, but we still family. We good. And she ends up going back to baby daddy and apologizing and telling him, you know, I'm so sorry I jumped to the wrong conclusions, but, you know, you really broke my heart when you went out there and you was doing the drugs and selling the drugs or robbing the people or doing whatever it was you was doing. And I do apologize. And he was like, it's all good. You know, we worked things out. And then he leaned in and kissed her. She kissed him back. But then she stopped herself and said, nope. Like, you just got cool with getting to know your daughter again. And I'm still trying to work this thing out I got going on with Sexual Chocolate. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. I ain't seen him. He ain't shown up for nothing in the last 2 weeks. But I really want to try to make this thing work out. I'm so sorry. And then Taylor goes to check on Lauren because she can't sleep. Lauren can't sleep. And the two of them get to kissing. I said, oh, Lord. And then we got Quincy. He's in his feelings about his Uncle Jack being dead. And the granddaughter of the housekeeper talking about something, you want me to make you feel better? I was like, that is very provocative. Anyway, that is pretty much the episode, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.